Brian Swan, that's a very, very impressive result for UCD. I mean, 4-1 against the team ahead of you, and it looks like very much you can't catch them now.
Yeah, I always thought we could catch them. We've had a lot of results go against us, like from winning positions, and just happy we got across the line tonight and we showed what we can do.
And a very impressive performance from yourself as well, and always happy to get on the score sheet.
Oh yeah, as a striker, that's what you want to do, isn't it? I was delighted with my performance and happy with the goals.
And how's it been for playing for UCD? I mean, this year, in the first division, it's something that the UCD obviously just relegated. How's the spirit been in the squad?
Yeah, well, the spirit's been great. It's been first year myself at UCD, and all the lads are very good. And I have to say we've been working very hard behind the scenes, and we want to get back to the Premier Division.
Not exactly something that you can say for a UCD squad very often, but there's a nice mix of experience and youth there, isn't there?
Oh yeah. As the same with UCD teams over the year, there's always a young contingent in the squad, and I'm happy to be part of it, and hopefully we can get back to the Premier Division.
And I'd imagine when you joined this year you didn't expect that you could be playing Europa League football in a few months as well. I'm sure you're delighted about that.
No, I don't think I could make a better move. Finding out that we're in Europe, nothing like it. It's unbelievable, it is.
And you're looking at it now. I mean, you go out and you have a performance like that against Wexford Youths, and Ollie Horgan, the manager of Finn Harps, is in the stands as well. I mean, like it's the sort of thing like UCD. I think they definitely believe that the league title is within their grasp. Really.
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's on to a big game next week, and we hope to get 3 points up in Ballybuffet.
And finally, you mentioned the game in Ballybuffet. I mean, how tough is it going to be against Finn Harps? I mean, they are definitely one of they are definitely probably your biggest contenders for the league title.
Yeah, well, it's going to be very tough, but if we go up there and we perform the way we have been and we see the game out, we should win the game.
Alright, thank you very much. Very, very important result for UCD tonight, especially Finn Harps and Wexford have been ahead of you, and now it's a very big win against Wexford Youths.
Yeah, no, it's massive. They were 6 ahead of us, so we had to come and get the result. If we lost, they're going to be 9 ahead of us. So I think we knew as a team we had to go out and get the result. First half we weren't great, didn't really pass the ball. They kind of squeezed up really high, put the pressure on. But second half, I thought after they got the goal, we come out and played really well and deserved the win.
It's not often we see UCD scoring 4 goals.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, but the last few weeks we've been getting chances, haven't been scoring, so it's good to put them away.
Clinical, that was the performance tonight. I mean, very, very important for UCD to be grabbing such 4-1 is a very impressive result.
Especially against a team like Wexford, who are very good. He'll be up there towards the end of the season, beating a team like Wexford is great, and hopefully we can push on next week now against Finn Harps.
Obviously Danny Furlong has been very impressive for Wexford, and he was kept entirely quiet by the UCD defence tonight, which is always nice for someone like yourself.
I thought our back four done well. I thought our whole team done well as a whole, but no, he's a very good player in this league, and if he gets a chance he's going to score, so I thought we'd done well to keep him to not many chances, so happy.
And obviously an entirely new management setup. You got obviously Evan in an assistant manager, and then Pat and Collie at the helm. I mean, it's very. How have you found the new setup?
Yeah, it's good. Collie was around last year as assistant coach, whatever, and then when I first came to UCD, Ev was here as a player, so it's good having someone of his stature come back and be a coach and give little tips to the back four and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think we're doing really well. Started off the season not too great, but now I think we're really pushing on the right direction and hopefully up towards the top.
It's not necessarily something I could say very often, but it's a nice mix of youth and experience in this UCD squad.
I used to be one of the young lads, and now one of the old lads now, so 23. So there's a few very good young lads, like Dylan Watts. He's very good, and then Ryan Swan's gone too tonight. He's a handful for any defence. So a lot of good young players.
With a win like that and then going to Ballybuffet soon enough, I mean, it looks like UCD definitely are within that big title running.
Yeah, I think we're well capable of winning this league, but we have to go up and show that now up in Finn Harps next week now. Up in Finn Harps next week, so it's a hard place to go. It'll be a battle again, but I think we put on a show like we did tonight now. We're well capable of getting 3 points.
And finally, you signed for UCD a long time ago. I can't imagine you thought you'd ever be playing European football with them.
No, yeah, I signed back in 2008 or 2009, and it's crazy to think we're playing European football this year. Just hopefully we get a nice draw and a big crowd, and it's great for the whole club to be involved in Europe. So happy days.
Alright, thank you. And that's an extremely disappointing result, especially considering it's probably a better performance than the time you would have beaten UCD early in the season.
Yeah, no, but look, we knew coming up here that in all the games up to this, the best footballing side we played is UCD. Yeah. There's no denying that. And as I was just talking to the lads in the Warren there, you're not going to go through a season where you're not going to have an under-par performance. And we didn't play well, but UCD played very well. So sometimes it just goes like that,
It's a very comprehensive victory for UCD, and obviously it's the sort of result you wouldn't want to be shipping this at this stage in the season, so it's something you really need to make amends for it next week.
Yeah, no, look, you never want to concede goals like that, but we'll knuckle down during the week. And we were on a great run. That's our first defeat in just 2 defeats in 8 games or 9 games. So look, especially we know from the first division the last couple of years that you're going to go and you're as well off losing a game and winning 3 in a row. If we win our next 3 in a row, this, as we did after our last defeat, it's soon not draws in this division or not all they're cracked up to this. So look, we'll take it on the chin because we didn't deserve much more than we got tonight.
With all due respect to the likes of Shelburne, Athlone and Harps and stuff, in this league this year there's no team who were as spectacular as the Longford team or the Galway team last year, like for years in the first division. It does look like there's no standout team who are going to run away with it. Is that something that Wexford Youths can take a lot of positivity from? Is that it's probably their best chance for promotion in a long time?
I think every team in the division can take positive from that. Like, there is no one that's going to run away from it. Finn Harps haven't been beaten yet, but yet, even though they have a game in hand, they're only 3 points ahead of us. So there's no one going to run away with it. That's what I'm saying about the draws. If you lose a game and you pick up 2 or 3 wins after it, you're right back in the hunt. Like, I mean, there's a lot of teams. Finn Harps have to go to Cove Ramblers, and we bet Cove last week. Cove are a much different side than they were at the start of the season. So look, there's no one going to run away with this. Everyone is going to be in and around it at the end. And
it looks like as in there are 2 very good footballing teams tonight, and as in it, like the first division constantly gets a poor sort of rap from people who watch Premier Division football or even don't watch League of Ireland football. I mean, it actually isn't that low of a stand.
No, look, it gets a raw deal in the press. I mean, the League of Ireland gets a raw deal in the press. People are saying games in the Premier Division are not good. There's no one could deny that wasn't a decent game of football tonight. There's no one, no matter what game they go to or they watch on telly tomorrow, there's no one going to see football. It's a brilliant level. Like, I mean, to be fair, we played Premier teams in the Cups last year and beat, and there was none of them as good on the ball as UCD.
And looking at it, I mean, now this particular series of games is going to be so important because Roddy's now coming at Waterford, which means they're going to be another team who are going to be contending with you in 4 or 5 games. And then, of course, you've got Finn Harps and the likes of UCD as well. And you've got an extremely tough run up. I think it's Shells and Athlone and Harps are involved in that run up.
And they throw Cork in the cup as well, and they won at home. But look, we knew from the start of the season with the squad that we have that we're capable of being in the mix. That's all we want. Once we're in the mix in the last 5 or 6 games, we'll be quite content that we have a squad that is capable of either snatching it straight up or getting into the playoffs. But look, they are Waterford, Cove, they're all going to take points off teams now. Waterford is a tough place to go. Cove is going to be an extremely tough place to go. Finn Harps is the hardest place in the country to go. We all have to go up there. UCD are up there next week, we're up there the last round of games. But look, I'm not too worried that we're only halfway through, so there's plenty of football left to play.
And of course, your rivals Waterford as well. They've brought in Roddy Collins and UCD are going to be playing in Europe. It's a bit of a mad year for the first division this year, isn't it?
It is, but look, it's brilliant. As in, people can say what they want about Roddy Collins. Whatever happens to him in the Premier Division, his first division record is
phenomenal.
Brilliant. He has contacts. He brings in players. He's going to do the same for Waterford. But look, UCD in Europe is brilliant. It's absolutely fabulous, and it's brilliant for the first division. It'll give a bit of exposure. But look, as I said, we'll just worry about ourselves. I think once we go over tonight, back to training on the night, we'll be alright, and we'll move on to next week.
Alright, thank you. Shane Keegan, an extremely disappointing result, and all in all, it probably was probably a better performance from Wexford Youths than the time you would have played UCD the last one.
I thought we were good in the first half despite going 1-0 down. There was a strong breeze there and there was nothing in the first 45 to make me think we couldn't go and win the game. I wasn't surprised at all when we went and equalised. 10 minutes, for the next 10 minutes after the equaliser, it only looked like there was only going to be one winner, and then we were horrendous for 15 minutes. They took full advantage of us being terrible for that 15 minutes, and they deservedly win the game for that then,
And UCD, probably, like some of your lads are saying, probably the best football playing side in the league this year.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it. And I thought our structure for the first hour, I thought our structure was excellent to stop them having any real chances from play. And then, as I say, we make a little error, they get a goal to put them 2-1 up, and then I don't know, maybe you put it down to go on chasing, but I mean, you can't just abandon all kind of shape altogether, and we were terrible for that 15-minute period. As I say, they excelled during that 15-minute period, and they just showed how good they are, and I've been saying how good they are,
And you've got an extremely tough run of games starting with tonight's game, and it's going to be 4 or 5 really tough ones. You've got Athlone, Shells and Harps, and then you've got Cork in the Cup as well.
That's right, yeah. Probably a good way to have it, really, to be honest with you. we have to show serious mental strength now over the course of this week, and the right attitude all week long, and we'll see very quickly come next Friday night what we're made of. We're either going to go out and we're going to give a really good account of ourselves and put ourselves back on the front foot straight away, or very easy to make something like this spiral into a bad run if we're not strong, if we don't have strong enough character, you know.
And with all due respect to the likes of the team in this year's league, there's no Longford or Derry or Cork or something that are going to run away with it. I mean, how important is that for a club like Wexford Youths? I mean, it's probably the best chance since you've been here that the Wexford have of getting promoted.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it at all. I mean, you're looking at a realistic scenario going into the final round of games where there could be 6 teams competing for the top 3 spots. There could be more than 6 teams competing for the top 3 spots, the way some of the bottom teams are after going tonight again, you know. So yeah, and that'd be a brilliant way to have it. You'd love to think that will be the case, and look, we think we're as good as anything else in the league, and probably no better than anything else in the league. So it's going to come down to the smallest of margins, and more so than anything, it's going to come down to personality and character, and we'd like to think we've got those in the dressing room.
And you mentioned like that there's 6 or 7 teams, and one of those is going to be Waterford United, who've obviously brought in Roddy Collins down. He's probably going to be one of the like himself and Pat Devlin. I mean, it's a good pedigree of manager in the First Division this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be thankful enough that we don't have Waterford over the next couple of games, because obviously there's going to be an immediate bounce back from them with Roddy going in there, no doubt about that side of things. I think anybody who has them in the next couple of weeks is going to get a very tough game, so I think you'll see them shooting up. Hendo's gone in at Cove and had them shooting up the league since he's gone in there. There is no game in this division that you can think, right, this is a handy enough one. It's every single team is capable of beating every team on the night. Shells were struggling, you turn around and see the fantastic result they had tonight, so they're going to be back in challenging for the top 3 in no time at all as well, so it's going to be really exciting.
And finally, despite the fact that, like I say, there's no Longford or Cork or whatever, it's going to be a mad year for the First Division, because you see the likes of Devlin and Roddy are going to be in the hot seat, and of course there's a First Division team in Europe this year, and I'd imagine it's good for the whole league, isn't it?
Oh, it is, absolutely. Look, as well we're aware that the profile of the First Division has been absolutely shocking over the last few years, and I mean, having Roddy in it, Pat in it, a team that are going to be playing in Europe in it, can only help boost the profile of the division, and that's a badly needed boost, so it is. So look, anything that draws attention is good.
Alright, thank you. Collie O'Neill, a very impressive result, especially when you look at the fact that it was probably a better performance from Wexford than the last time you played them.
We did well down in Wexford the last time as well, but yeah, I was proud of them tonight. I think Wexford tried to come out and bully us a little bit because we were so young, but yeah, we stood up. We still tried to pass the ball. A little bit difficult in the first half, but in the second half we really only got going once they equalised.
And you look at it like, as in the football that UCD are playing, I mean, the Wexford lads are even saying it's probably the best football in the division.
Yeah, but playing nice football still doesn't win you leagues. It gets you thereabouts, but you know, sometimes we have to roll up our sleeves a little bit and grind out results. So I'm trying to get that part into the game as well.
And a 4-1 win here, it brings you that bit closer to Wexford, and of course that bit closer to Finn Harps.
Yeah, well, we'll keep on doing what we're doing. We'll keep on trying to play our passing style of football at the high tempo. Keep on doing it that way, and now if we can mix it up a little bit, get a little bit more clean sheets, I hope to be thereabouts come the end of the year.
And obviously the squad was severely depleted the last while. I mean, there's obviously lads doing the league and there's injuries and stuff. I mean, it must be tough with a squad sort of the size the UCD have.
It is. It's been very tough. It's been the toughest part has been training, where I haven't had the full bunch together for week after week to be able to get more into it. You know, my style of play, what I want them to do. That's been the hardest part of it. It's been a tough week this week with a lot of them doing their exams, missing training. We've some gone off now to do the leaving set, but at least the college exams are finished. We've a couple coming back from injury, so things are looking brighter.
And when you look at it, I mean, just when the leaving cert's over for those few lads, and you're going to have to go to Europe as well. It's going to be a very tough summer, isn't it?
Well, it's a good complaint to have, isn't it? It's better than going on a break during the summer. It's much better to be playing a European game. It's something for us to look forward to. And but I still don't want to distract that the main reason we're here is to get back in the Premier Division.
I'd imagine though when you decided to come to UCD, you didn't expect that you'd be a manager in a European game.
No, you know, it's one of those things you don't think about. It is a bit strange to get it through a fair play. It's like a booby prize, really. I prefer to actually get there because I won a trophy, fully deserved. But we're going in the right direction, and maybe in a year or two we will be in Europe for doing it in the right way.
And you look at it this year, I mean, there's no, in the first division, there's no, like, with all due respect to yourselves and teams like, there's no Longford or Cork or Derry who people are saying, yeah, they're going to run away with it, they're going to win it by 15, 20 points or whatever. And I mean, it's a very competitive league this year, and it's one of the tougher ones to get out of now.
It is, but the year that's in it, I think Shells were probably one of the favourites at the start. Athlone were probably one of the favourites, but between there's 4 or 5 teams there that it's really, really open, and it's probably our best year to get back out of it, because whatever gets relegated out of the Premier Division next year, it's going to be much tougher then to get out of it.
And finally, you know, like you've got yourselves, Wexford Youths, Finn Harps, and now it looks like Waterford are going to be coming into the frame as well, because Roddy has come in and he's won his first game in charge. I mean, it looks like a very open league, doesn't it?
It does. It is really, really open, and when a new manager comes into a team, you always get that little injection. But we'll see how long that lasts. But I'm not going to worry about Wexford, Waterford, Finn Harps. My job is to concentrate on us, to make sure we're doing the things right on the pitch and off the pitch.
Actually, could I ask you, what's it been like to work with Pat Devlin this year? I mean, he's got such a great pedigree, and he's got such a great history of bringing in extremely talented young players into squads like at Bray.
Yeah, he's great to have around the place. He's busy, he's always looking to bring in an extra little bit of quality here, a little bit of quality there. He never sits still. He really, I don't know what age he is, but I think he has Red Bull every morning for breakfast. No, he's been great around the place, he really is.
Thank you very much.